Hello, so in this module we'll be talking about the person that we call business analyst. So, okay, who is a business analyst to start with? We expect, in fact, so you would also, I hope that you would recognize that it's a very important role, and we expect quite a lot in terms of the skills that a business analyst should possess. Now, first of all, we expect a business analyst to understand the context that the organization is operating in. He or she should be able to understand what problems the organization have, and particularly what goals, what mission, what strategic objectives that it pursues, the organization pursues. What are the weaknesses, what are the strong points of the organization? For instance, these are all important concepts that a business analyst should definitely be very much aware of. Of course, we expect a business analyst also to discover the illicit, to analyze the needs, the problems of different stakeholders, and also the opportunities that might arise that exist in that particular market that the organization is operating in. We expect, obviously, a business analyst to design new solutions, which will involve IT eventually. IT when we're talking about IT, but we're also talking about basically software here, but also business models, new business processes, or organizational structures, even new kind of roles and development of new culture even is also perhaps considered as one of the responsibilities of a business analyst. Devise strategies to the organization, drives the change, which is quite important, and also not very easy also. And of course, it should facilitate stakeholders. So we have already mentioned in the first video that it's the business analysis is something that connects business and IT. So in this case, we expect the business analyst to act as a very much like a bridge between business and IT, very perfect communicator, in fact, that speaks the language of both sides. Of course, he or she does that using a lot of various types of business analysis techniques that we'll also see a list in a minute. So we usually see three, let's say, kind of levels of business analysts in practice, from junior to senior business analyst, and usually in the junior level we expect business analysts to work on rather let's say peculiar specific apply specific techniques and go much more into details of solutions, while towards the senior level we expect a business analyst to work on a portfolio of business models, or let's say portfolio of value propositions, portfolio of initiatives, or solution implementation initiatives, prioritizing them and having a very nice oversight of what is going on in the organization. We call it business analysts, but there's a lot of other terms that we also let's say we also see in practice used instead of the term business analyst, like business architect, like a business system analyst, data analyst, sometimes also enterprise analyst, management consultant, business consultant, process analyst, process managers, or BPM engineer, requirements engineer, definitely requirements engineers. You would see a lot system analysis as well. So all these terms, one way or another, in fact, they do what a business analyst in general does. In fact, it's a very highly demanded role in organizations. So currently in the Netherlands, we have about, or in fact 32,000 people, practitioners, who in fact one way or another have business analyst name in their positions. So I did a search in the LinkedIn and I found these number of people there. And currently, it's a very recent search, we have about 1,000 BA position openings in the Netherlands. So it's highly demanded. And I also have this plot that shows the trends in Google Trends for the term business analyst. And you would see from 2004 to 2020, you'd see a kind of a growing trend on the business analyst, and I also put the trend for the data analyst just to put the graphic in some sort of a context. So data analysis is also very highly popular these days. What competencies, what kind of skills do we expect a business analyst to have? Obviously analytic thinking, obviously problem-solving skills, creative thinking, system thinking, meaning this just like look at the whole, not necessarily on the certain parts. You look at the whole and the relationships of the components among themselves. Conceptual thinking, visual thinking, these are all very much important competencies that we expect the business analyst to have. Behavioral characteristics of, obviously, we expect any kind of a profession, in fact, to act in an ethical way, and we expect business analysts to be people who are trusted. But apart from that side, we also expect business analysts to be very organized people, and they should definitely be very good at time management. Business knowledge. They should not only have a very good idea about the techniques that they need to use, but also on the business, let's say, domain that these techniques will be applied, or the industry that these solutions will be applied into. Organization knowledge, obviously, process knowledge, methodology knowledge, and also, let's say, IT knowledge is also not necessarily programming, for instance, but IT knowledge, general IT knowledge is very much required as well. Communication, interaction, I can't stress it more. Verbal, non-verbal, written communication, listening, these are all very, very essential competencies that any business analyst must possess. Interaction, facilitation, leadership, teamwork, negotiation, conflict resolution. You'll see a lot of stakeholders getting in some sort of conflict with each other, so business analysts are there to, in fact, resolve these conflicts as much as possible. Teaching, that you, of course, teach end users, for instance, sometimes, and also quite many things, in fact, that we expect business analysts, I must say, to be involved in. Of tools and techniques, and we'll also see about some of the tools, or let's say some of the techniques. In fact, in the next slide, in fact, these are, like, let's say I list here 50 techniques that a business analyst should be at least aware of. And I must admit that there's no way that we can just go through, let's say, teach you in details all 50 techniques. But what we did in this course is, or what we're going to do in this course, is to go over the ones that are in bold. We pick them as representative techniques that are very much known and very much or highly frequently applied, often applied in projects, in practice. So we're gonna go through them, but and many of them you're gonna also use apply in your assignment, essentially. That is it for the time being, and we'll discuss about other topics about BA in the next module. Yeah, see you later.